We are live. I think we're live. Or anyway, we're getting live in just a second here. Let's take a look. And we are live. Hello, everyone who's out there.
Sure.
Yep, I'm positive.
Oh, there we go.
We're live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Live Mouse Talk. And we are getting ourselves prepared. We should have been prepared.
No, we're prepared. Hi, Robin.
Hey, Robin. What's going on? Hope everybody's doing well out there. We are doing good. How are you, Robin? How's your son doing? Hey, Brian. What's going on, buddy? How are you? How is everybody? Everybody's having a good week. Hopefully it's going well. I know it is for us so far. Brian, I talked to Brian already earlier today, and I told him what our topic was tonight, Brian. Hey, Rhiannon's in here, right? Hey, Rhiannon, we got your message a little bit earlier. Congratulations. In stereo. That's great news. Congratulations.
So excited.
For those that don't know, Robin, or Rhiannon is Robin.
It's like, no!
Not Robin. Rhiannon. Hey, Noah, what's going on, buddy? Rhiannon is going to have a boy.
A boy.
Yay, I hope that was okay, Rhiannon. I hope we were all right to say that.
Yay.
It's a boy.
Yeah,
Yay, there you go.
She said, because she announced it last time. Yeah, Robin already has a boy, and I don't think she wants it anymore, right, Robin?
Brian, first timer here, I'm ready.
Hey,
Arjon!
Arjon.
What's up, Richard? How are you, buddy?
I know, right, Robin?
Yeah, no,
That'd be me too. I'm like, no, I'm good.
No.
I'm good.
All right, it was a slip of the tongue. I'm sorry.
Nathan
Walt. There you go. Hey, John. What's going on, John?
Hey, John.
Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
You're probably tired.
Yeah, I know. I am.
I know, but for us, it's only 7:30.
Yeah, it's only 7:30 for us, though.
The weeks are so flying. I can't believe Thanksgiving's 2 weeks away. Oh, wait a minute. Are we streaming on Thanksgiving?
Nope, we're not streaming on Thanksgiving, guys. Just so you know.
I guess we could.
Nobody wants to listen to us on Thanksgiving.
To listen to us on Thanksgiving.
Great to see everybody. Absolutely. It is great to see everybody. But we got a really fun stream tonight. We're going to talk about top 3 experiences. I'm sure their streams are better than ours, Arjon. But we're going to try to keep up because I know tonight was Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party was the first one tonight. And I know that a lot of people are probably watching that. So anybody that's in here tonight, I appreciate it. But we're going to have fun tonight. We're going to do a top 3 must-do experiences at each of the parks for what would be first-timers. So if somebody came up to you and said, you know, I'm a first-time, I'm going to Disney for the first time, Disney World, what are my must-dos at the parks?
Well, that's why this came up. A friend of mine that I work with at used to work with at one of my jobs knows we're big Disney-holics, and he messaged me. He's like, I'm going to Disney next week. He's like, what's the one thing I have to do? I'm like, one thing? So I ended up sending a message, and I said, well, here's the things that I would want to do in each park, or that I would hate to leave. I guess I based mine on if I didn't do these and I left and didn't experience them, I would be really bummed out.
Right.
So things that I think you really have to do, and we had to limit it to 3 or we'd be here all night.
Right, exactly. Now, for me, my criteria was a little bit different. These are ones that I would not necessarily bum me out, but these are ones that I do think people that if you're going to go to Disney for the first time and maybe not get to go back again, you have to do.
Did you see what Brian wrote?
2 turkeys for TG.
For Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Walt and the bird, you're the turkey.
Oh, that's terrible, Brian. I went right past that. I didn't get it.
No.
2 turkeys.
No, that was funny, Brian.
Well, I guess it depends on your point of view.
From my POV, it was pretty funny.
From Brian's too, I'm assuming.
See, it got brighter again. See, I told you.
Oh yeah, it did get brighter.
I don't get it. The lighting in here is weird. We'll start and it looks dim, and then it gets bright.
Yeah.
Must be the halo over my head.
It does. Absolutely.
Sorry.
Melissa's in the rare form tonight, everybody.
Myself up. I must be tired.
But let's get started. We are going to get started with our top 3. We're going to take each park one at a time, and we'll want to hear from you guys too. Now, I want to know what, if somebody was coming up to you for the first time and saying, hey, we're going to Disney, I want to know what you guys say. Okay? So, which park do you want to start with?
I don't care.
All right, let's start with probably what would be the hardest park, and that's Hollywood Studios.
Nah, I think that was pretty easy.
You think so?
Yeah,
Top
considering
3?
that there's nothing to do there.
See, I that was hard for me. I had to think about Hollywood
Really?
Studios for a bit before I could really come up with something that I said these are must dos at Hollywood Studios. But this is, I got my 3, and we both have an honorable mention for each one too.
Oh, I didn't have one for each one, but I'm sure I could come up with one.
Oh,
I thought
do.
you said there
No.
was just one.
No, I have an honorable mention for each part.
I could probably definitely come up with one though.
Okay. All right. Well, go ahead. So, if you're Hollywood Studios, what's one of the first things you're going to tell somebody must do? What do they got to do?
To be honest, I mean, all of my must-dos are really in one part of the park right now, and that's Toy Story Land. I mean,
Okay.
that's really the big thing right now. So for me, I broke it down in terms of rides, not necessarily just locations in the park, but definitely Toy Story Mania.
Okay.
And that's definitely a must-do. It's one of those things that I would be really upset, and it's one of the better or best rides in the park, I think. So
Okay.
right now, I know there's a lot coming, and that could change, but definitely Toy Story Mania.
Okay.
It's fun, and
Right.
probably has the lowest weight in Toy Story Mania. I mean, Toy Story Land right now in terms of the 3 rides
There goes the train.
that are in that part of the park.
All right.
So that's what I said.
So you said Toy
Story
Story
Mania.
Mania. Okay. All right. So specific to just the ride. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to break it down by ride, not so much just land, because then you really can't, So I'm trying to be more specific of things that you want to do while you're there.
Okay. Now for me, I'm on the same path as you, but I took it as a whole. So for me, I put Toy Story Land.
Okay.
I think all of the experiences in Toy Story Land, you can't just say you have to do just Slinky and
Well,
then
that's
tell
why-
them not to do. So I did that. I did Toy Story Land.
Well, that's why those were my 3 picks. To be honest, I did all 3 rides in Toy Story Land.
Okay, all
But
right.
for me,
I
because
had different stuff.
I'm not a roller coaster person, I could eliminate Slink because I did it once and probably won't do it again. And
Right.
for me, I
She won't
replaced
do
that
it.
with Muppet Vision 3D
Okay.
only because I'm a huge Muppet fan. So as much as I think it's a little worn out and dated, for me, if I don't do Muppets, I would look back and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't do Muppets.
Okay.
So,
So that's your number 2
yeah, I mean,
on the list? Okay.
I guess so. And then,
All right. Well, so the first one for me, I tell everybody you gotta visit Toy Story Land. The whole thing, it encompasses the whole thing. Yeah, she loved it, guys. You gotta go back and watch that video. That's some great television. Let me tell you.
I loved it to death.
But for me, yeah, to death almost. But second on my list for me, what did I put? I forgot. Oh, Beauty and the Beast Live. I think that's a show that you have to see. I really enjoy it. I love Beauty and the Beast. I love the music, and I really would recommend it to folks. I would say that if you're going to be at Hollywood Studios, you have to do the stage show over there. I would recommend it over Indiana Jones. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people like that. But if somebody says, well, I'm going to be at Hollywood Studios, I can only do one stage show. What should I do? I'm going to tell them to do Beauty and the Beast. That's my pick. I just think it's a really good show. It shouldn't be missed. Right?
Yeah. So I guess I'll lump my 3 Toy Story rides together and make that one since I made Muppets too, because 3 for me would be Fantasmic. Now, granted, we didn't do it this last trip, but I'm bummed out that we didn't do
Right.
it. There were a few things that we didn't get to do that I'm looking back and I feel like our trip was missing something. So I would say Fantasmic.
Yep. And guess what? That was my number 3.
Really?
Yes.
You don't even like it.
No, but it's not a matter of what I like.
First time.
It's not a matter of what I like. It's a matter of what I think people should experience. It's a must-do for first-timers. I think a lot of people love it. And I'm sure it's a good show for most people. But for me, I'm not a big fan of it, but I do recommend it to everybody. It's got a great story. It's fun. It's just, I think I'd have to go back and see it again, because I only saw it the one time. I wasn't thrilled by it, so I never went back. I think if I went back, I might change my view. I don't know.
Why not?
I might not.
You'll love it, Rhiannon. It's so much better in person. So you're really going to love it.
Yeah, you
I
have
really
to do it in
liked
person.
it at night.
Yes, at night it's beautiful. And Rhiannon, you're going during the holiday overlay.
Yes.
And I don't know if you've seen it yet, but they've already started decorating it, and it looks awesome.
They've got a ham Christmas sugar cookie.
Oh my gosh, it looks so funny.
And, yeah, they're putting antlers on Rex and so
They
many
have
great
some
photo
Christmas bulbs that are
opportunities.
like the little green men,
Yeah.
little green aliens. I mean, yeah, John, Fantasmic is a must-do for everyone. I do recommend that you do it at least once. You have to try it. I mean, a lot of people swear by that show, and I get it. Hey, Brian, thank you. I appreciate you leaving a like. Yep, guys. And actually, before we move on to the next one, I do want to get a couple things out real fast, a couple shout-outs real fast. Obviously, Dean at The Live Place, who hosts the show all the time. If you haven't been out there, please go to theliveplace.com. Great family-friendly live streams, Disney and other things too. So please make sure you check that out. And also, we do a live stream every Thursday, except on holidays. And of course, I do Mouse Madness on every Tuesday, and we'd love for you guys to come out if you haven't already. And of course, hit that like button. And if you're new and you haven't subscribed, please do so.
Christmas is a Tuesday this year.
Yeah, so
you
Christmas
won't be
is a
streaming
Tuesday.
then.
I might. I don't know. Maybe I will.
No, you won't.
So I just want to get all that out. And if you're watching on a replay, welcome to the live stream. I hope you're enjoying it. We're going to have a good time tonight.
Oh, I'm so excited for you, Rand, and you're going to have so much good stuff going down there for the holidays, so I am super jealous. Oh my
She
gosh,
certainly
take
is.
lots of pictures and send them to us,
Yeah.
please, of all the Christmassy things.
Yeah, John, a lot of live streams on tonight, so we really appreciate everybody that's out here. We appreciate you coming to see us, even if it's for a little bit. We definitely appreciate it. It means a lot to us that you're taking the time to come out and see us. Because I know a lot of those other streams are probably at the parks for Mickey's Very Merry.
That's a lot more exciting.
Yeah, so we appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
But my number 3 was Phantasmic, because yes, everybody, you're correct. It's a good choice. First timers gotta see it. You gotta see it. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Can't leave there without doing it. But my honorable mention for me, did you have one?
Well, I have one in my head.
Go
I
ahead.
didn't write it down, but would be the Star Wars show, or the night
Fireworks?
The fireworks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because that was enjoyable. That was a good one. So.
And I was going to say Star Wars, but I said to myself, not everybody's a big Star Wars fan. So I was like, it may not be a must-do for them because it may not be something they like. A lot of nothing wrong with that,
me.
Rhiannon.
I'm all about that.
Yep. Well, the First Order of March is kind of neat, Brian, and I heard that they are actually going to. He put odor, but
Yes,
I think
First
he meant
Order.
They are actually going to cut that back a little bit, so we'll see what happens there. That's kind of too bad. But my honorable mention was the Citizens of Hollywood.
Because they're going away, too.
Yeah, and if you can get to them before they go away, I think they're so funny. They really crack me up, and I think they really bring a great what's the word I want to use? Not experience, but kind of ambiance or aura to the area. I just love the experience they give you as you're walking around and you see them come out in the cars and they do the little skits out in the middle of the streets. They're so funny, and I'm so disappointed that they're going away. But it really helps to get you in the spirit and in the mood. And they're really a lot of fun. I love Citizens of Hollywood. They are fantastic. They are Robin.
We picked up on it, Brian.
No, Brian, we got it. We got it.
I was laughing.
Melissa was laughing. We said that,
saw
the first odor, not the first order.
But the Citizens of Hollywood, I think it's one of the last remnants of what the park used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's why it's going away. So it's kind of like that last, hurrah in terms of that old feel for the park, which a lot of that I really miss.
I do too. I mean, I really like the Citizens of Hollywood. I hope that they find a way, even if they are changing the whole aesthetic of what that park's going to be, I hope they find a way to bring them back in some capacity. It would be really nice.
They stink.
Yeah, they do stink, actually. Well, I haven't really smelt them to find out. Guess we'll have to next time we're there.
Maybe it means
Just go up and go,
they stink because
they're bad guys?
Yeah.
Probably.
Mm.
But there you go. So Citizens of Hollywood was my honorable mention. I think they're awesome. They're really, really funny. I remember last time we were there, we were watching them for a while. I don't know how they do it. They can ad-lib so well. I think they're awesome. They really do a good job. All right, so there you go. Hollywood Studios in the book. Which park should we do next? I'll let you guys decide.
That's why we love you, Brian.
What should we do next? Which park should we go to?
Which park do you want us to go to next, guys? You can vote.
Epcot, Animal Kingdom, or the big guy? I call it the big guy.
His favorite.
That's my favorite. As Mason goes crazy as he's doing his gaming.
I don't know if people can even hear him. I don't know if you can hear our son in the background being crazy.
He is being crazy.
All the way from his room.
All right. So nobody's stepping up. So I'm going to step up.
I say.
We are going to, let's count to 3. 1. Oh, there you go. Oh, look, there you go.
And I was just
Epcot.
going to say Animal Kingdom, so those were our first two
We've got a
votes,
couple
so we're
Animal
going with
Kingdoms and
Kingdom.
an Epcot. So we're going to, we're going to go to Animal Kingdom because that won out. We hear,
hear
you do
it?
hear him. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
He's in
no.
the background. He's terrible. All right, so Animal Kingdom it is. So ladies first, what's a must-do at Animal Kingdom?
Flight of Passage. Hands down,
Okay.
takes the number one spot.
Why?
Because it's amazing and probably the best ride in all of Disney World.
There you go.
Even though I can only keep my eyes open through part of it, I'm always like...
She's about 35% keeping her eyes
I'm
open
like,
so far.
I peek through, I squint them so it feels less scary.
You're funny. You're funny.
But it's amazing. It really is. Although it was the very first ride we did on our trip, and I don't think I was ready to go in like full force.
Just
You
yet.
know, I
It
probably
was.
should have
It
started
was.
with something
A
much
little
more
bit
low
tame.
key and tame because I was like, I was shaking like a leaf when we got off the ride.
She's so funny.
Yeah, I know. I wonder why there isn't any autocorrect
Yeah, I don't know why
in
either.
chat.
I don't know. It should be.
Hmm.
Sometimes, I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing. Sometimes
Right.
autocorrect gives you the exact opposite of what you want to say. So,
See, we're really on the same
wow,
page.
we're on the same page tonight.
Oh.
All right, so one of the first things I would tell folks as you're going to Animal Kingdom would be you have to do the safari. The safari, Kilimanjaro Safaris, is fantastic. To me, it is. It's just something you have to do. It's a must do. You can't not do the safari. To me, it is Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
It's what encompasses the whole entire park. Is that ride? It's fantastic. The drivers are fantastic with the information. The animals 9.5 times out of 10 are out and easy to see. We've never really had a disappointing ride when it comes to that, have we?
I still think it's fun.
I love the ride. So,
Yeah.
so there you go. So safari for me, yes, I agree, John. It is. It's pretty awesome.
Yep, that was my number. That was on my list too. And mine aren't necessarily in any real order, but Safari, it was absolutely the second thing I wrote on my list for sure.
Oh, was it
So,
safari?
yep.
Okay.
Absolutely, 100%,
Yeah.
because that's Animal Kingdom. I mean, that's really just that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and the other thing I would tell folks, speaking of, and this is probably something we should have touched on in Hollywood Studios too, is if you're going to do the safari as well, depending upon the time of year you're going, you have to fast pass it. Because, first off, the entire queue is outside, so if you're going in the summer or the hot months,
It's hot.
the entire time you're waiting in that line, it's going to be warm. Now, they have little fans here and there, and you're
undercover.
You're undercover, but it's still hot. So
Mhm.
don't forget that. Is always make sure for the rides you really, really want to do and the most popular ones, get those fast passes.
Absolutely.
Brian, we want to see it at night too. I think we did it last time at night, and it was not quite lighted well enough that time, but it wasn't bad. I didn't
Kind of
dislike it.
dusk.
Yeah,
And,
that's what it was.
So
Mhm.
I think we were hoping, because they say usually that time of night there's usually more animals out because it's not as hot, but we really didn't see that many more. I think we were a little, so I want to do it again. I want to give it another chance. I mean, we didn't get to this last trip. We did it 2 trips ago, or one before this
Right.
last one.
That's right.
So that is something I would like to do.
Yeah,
I love
would like it.
Dinosaur too, John. Actually, that's my honorable mention.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Okay.
Dinosaur is my honorable mention.
All right. Well, number 3 for me was. Well, where did I go? Well, I haven't even done my number 2.
Yeah.
I only did number 1.
Mm-mm.
Well, my number 2 was just Pandora in general. I think you have to enjoy all of Pandora. It's so beautiful. It's unbelievable at night, and which we still haven't experienced.
I know. We still
But
haven't seen it.
We still haven't seen it at night, if you can believe that.
We
But
didn't
it looks
know.
fantastic at night. It's such a great place to go. All of it you have to experience, whether it's the food, whether it's the restaurant, the food at the restaurant, or whether it's Navi River Journey, Flight of Passage, just looking at the floating mountains. There's all kinds of awesome stuff. So for me, number 2 is Pandora as a whole.
Okay.
I think you have to experience the entire thing. That's my number 2. Did you do number 3?
No, not yet.
Okay, go ahead.
But
What's
I
your
see
number
it.
3?
Brian puts that Dinosaur equals their indie ride
It's true.
in Disneyland. So
Yeah.
I would be so super excited to do that ride because I think I know a lot of people like the Indiana Jones show here in Hollywood Studios, but I'm not a huge fan, and I would really love to have an actual ride because I love the Indiana Jones, concept in the movies and all that.
Yeah,
good
the
stuff,
movies are
but-
great.
Yeah.
What's
But
your number
my
3?
number 3 is actually Finding Nemo the musical.
There you go.
I love that show. That's my favorite show in all of Disney World. So I didn't do that this last trip, and that left a huge hole. But that's my most favorite show, and I think it's a must see.
Okay. Well, I'm on the same path when it comes to shows, but for me, again, not something I'm a big fan of, but for me, I have to recommend this to first timers, is Festival of the Lion King. I think almost everybody else I've ever talked to, other than you and me, this is probably their favorite show.
John just echoed what you said
Yes, John,
at the same time.
that's exactly right. I mean, even though I'm not a big fan of it, I think a lot of folks are, and everybody I've ever talked to says they love it, and you have to experience it.
Brian's a real comedian tonight. Yep.
But it's got to be Festival of the Lion King. I think it's probably, for most folks, it's probably the best stage show out there. That's what they consider. And so you have to experience it. It's something I would recommend, and I have recommended to a lot of folks that have gone for the first time. Or even those that have only gone, maybe only gone once or haven't gone in 10 or 15 years. I would always recommend Festival of the Lion King. See, Robin, that's just it. I mean, a lot of people love that show. And they do. They really love that show. I like it. I don't love it, but I do think it's something you have to experience for the first time.
Okay.
I wouldn't want somebody to miss it. Not a first timer. I think it would really help to make their first Disney experience even better.
There you go, Brian. We'll do both.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Brian. You try to get in as much as you can, but a lot of people don't do that. I'll talk to people, and they're like, well, like I had a friend of mine that went this last trip, and I asked him, I said, hey, what'd you think of Pirates of the Caribbean? He goes, oh, we didn't do that. And I was like, well, what? That's what I said. That's what I said. And then I was like, well, what'd you think of Big Thunder Mountain and Space Mountain? And he goes, well, we didn't really do those. I'm like, what did you do?
I know.
He goes, oh, we just walked around the parks. We did like Small World and Peter Pan and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, all right. So,
hi, human person.
Hey, human person's in here. Salutations.
We are happy to have you join us whenever you join us.
Yeah, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Robin loves that show. See, look, she cries every time. There you go. But it is. Festival of Lion King is great, great show. You can't miss it for first timers. I'm going to recommend it every single time. And I've yet to have someone come back where I've recommended it and they've said, I didn't really like that show. Haven't had somebody say that yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
no. No, not at all.
No.
All right, your honorable mention. You did yours, didn't you? For Animal Kingdom, did you?
No.
All right, well, what's your honorable mention?
For me, maybe the Bugs.
Phantom Gazer, hey!
Phantom Gazer.
No, we're glad you're here.
Late
No problem
fine.
at all.
Late is fine.
Late still means you're here.
Yeah. I think it would be, it's tough to be a bug.
Oh,
It can be a little scary for little ones, but just because too, and I wanted to just say the tree, but I know the ride is under the tree and just seeing that tree. And if you can be there at night, the night light show they have on the Tree of Life in the park is amazing, and we didn't get to see it.
So which is it? Is it tough to be a bug or is it the tree?
They both incorporate the tree. But I mean, the tree you're going to see when you go in there, but you really need to take time to just go and look at that tree up close. I could stare at that tree for hours. So I don't know. See, I told you it's hard to make a list of just a few things.
Guys, we really think alike. What's my honorable mention?
Take time to view the Tree of Life.
My honorable mention was the exact same thing as Melissa.
That's
Not
funny.
A Bug's Life, but just the tree itself.
Life, yeah.
Take your time. I would tell them, look at it really closely. Try to find as many different animals or species that you can in that tree. Enjoy the whole creativity of it and the amazement of it because it's so wonderful. And yes, I agree. If you can enjoy the little show they do at night where they bring the tree to life, wow, man, it's really cool. I don't know if any of you out there have ever done it, but it's pretty cool. I think it's fantastic.
Oh.
Yeah, I wish it was still there. And
I would have liked to have seen it.
I hope it stays because they don't have, especially at Walt Disney World, there is little to no love for A Bug's Life.
I know.
Which makes no sense to me because I actually enjoyed that movie thoroughly. I think that is a very underrated Pixar film. Now, I think it was like the second or third Pixar one out, but it always gets lost in the shuffle, and I wish they incorporated it more at the parks. And we met Flick on our last trip to Disney. It was one of the ones we actually, no, not this trip, the trip before. We met Flick, and it was one of the highlights of the trip for me. I was so happy to see him.
Very much. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, John, they did close It's Tough to Be a Bug out at Disneyland and DCA, but they didn't close it at Walt Disney World. It's still open at Animal Kingdom. Yeah. And it's a really good show. It's fun. I think it's a great time. I love it. I think it's great. I won't give it away, but I really like the ending. Yeah, DCA, like Brian said. Yep. Mm-hmm. But the Tree of Life, I always tell folks, experience that. Please take your time because we're always rushing around the parks. Everybody does it. But if you can take time to really enjoy it, man, you'll find all kinds of animals.
It is very much hidden human person. It's not something that really stands out, trying to find where to go in for that show. I agree 100%.
Well, it's hidden, but it's hidden in a very witty way. It's underneath the tree, like bugs would be.
But meaning
in
I
the
think
ground.
you probably overlook it. If
Oh,
you're not
yeah.
following a map,
Yep.
it's not going to stand out to you like some of the other
Nope.
rides. I agree with you 100%.
Yes.
So that might make it overlooked and maybe
Yeah.
why it's not as popular.
Yeah, it could be. But I think they did it. I understood why they did it. The Imagineering behind it made sense. You're going underneath the tree, in the ground, where the bugs are.
Mhm, sure.
So it made perfect sense. It's really neat that they did it that way. Yeah.
Brian, you are in rare form today.
I'm telling you.
DCA stands for Don't
Don't
Come,
come
Again.
again. I don't know why. I'm going
I know, we're eventually.
at some point.
And I love the tree because I think for me, it's just as great of a photo op as like the
Oh my
castle
gosh, yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite pictures of our family are, some of the pictures that were taken with the tree in the background. I think it's great. So.
And Phantom Gazer, that is exactly right. You go in and you're like,
Mhm.
you forget about
It's true.
Tough to Be a Bug. Halfway through the day, you're like, oh, hey, we're going to do it on the way out. You're right. And then you forget it again. And I think part of it is because of what Melissa says. It's not out in the open. It's not plain to see. It's kind of hidden. So you just forget it.
Yeah.
All the other ones are right out in front of you. They're kind of in your face.
Right.
And you can't miss them. But Tough to Be a Bug is kind of tucked down below, and you don't really think about it. Yep.
And we missed it our last trip. I'm getting more depressed the more we do these shows because I realize how much more we didn't do.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm like,
Well, we did
we need
some
to go
stuff.
back like now.
Yeah,
Let's
I
go.
know.
Come on. We're going. Going to the parks.
But it is hidden. But it is still, it's a lot of fun. But I do recommend the tree. All right, we're carrying on with the Animal Kingdom.
I know.
All right, so we're going to save Magic Kingdom for last then. We'll just go straight to Epcot. So Epcot, I think we're going to be pretty much on the same page here too. But what's number one for you at Epcot?
Spaceship Earth.
Okay.
I love Spaceship Earth. I am really bummed out. It's going on a 2-year refurb.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone's going for the first time coming up, you must go. Probably, believe it or not, my favorite ride in the park. I know there's some other rides people really love, but that is my number one personally. I love that ride.
Okay.
Love it.
So number one for me is one of the things I always tell people when you're going to Epcot, and that is a must-do, is you have to dine at one of the countries. Pick a dining experience, pick a country, pick a restaurant, and experience it. Get the reservation and experience one of those places. There's nothing like it. We've experienced a lot of them now. We've done a lot better with that. There's only like 4 left that we haven't done, which, we haven't done Germany or France, but and I think that might be it. Because we did China.
Mm-hmm.
We did Norway. Did we do Norway? No,
No.
in Norway might be the other one. But we've done Canada. We've done, United Kingdom is the 4th one. That's the one. We haven't done the UK.
Yeah, we have fish and chips.
Oh, that's right. We had fish and chips. So that would be the first thing I always say to folks is, with Epcot, enjoy a dining experience.
What does my pick say?
Food in wine?
Food and World Showcase.
Oh, Food in World Showcase.
See? That was mine too. Or I put / any festival because food and wine, flower and garden,
Yep.
thinking about the food experiences. That was on my list too. Just funny, we're definitely on the same page. I put you have to at least experience food in the World Showcase. So.
Brian, Spaceship Earth is definitely, you have to do it. Absolutely. John, is it because you're in the UK?
I know, it's like, seems boring. That'd be like us going to the America Pavilion and eating,
I know.
which our son does every trip, like every time.
Yes, absolutely.
Boring.
So you're number one, and I guess your number 2 was my number 1. Dine at Epcot and World Showcase, right?
Yeah, I don't have mine in any order, but it was one of my 3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of my 3 was also same thing as Melissa with Spaceship Earth. Everything about Spaceship Earth is fantastic, whether it's just the whole technology, the fact that ride, which is a really long, big ride, is encapsulated into that ball is unbelievable. It amazes me, the engineering behind that ride.
Mm-hmm.
That they were able to put that whole thing in that ball. I remember the first time we ever went to Epcot. You didn't experience Epcot.
No,
The first time we ever
trip,
went.
I didn't go.
She didn't
Walter
even.
was
Melissa
sick.
didn't even go. But for me, I couldn't believe that they had an entire ride in that ball. I just thought it was an empty ball.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a ride in there.
Yeah, so Spaceship Earth is something that I think if everybody experiences it that first time, they'll be utterly amazed at how wonderful it is.
And I'm really mad at myself because I thought Epcot would be my least favorite park. Our son Walter was sick. He was only 2 years old. He had 103 fever. So I'm like,
She
you go
never
ahead
got
and
it.
go.
Yep.
I'll just stay at the resort
She
with the
did.
baby.
Nope.
And didn't even go. And now it's probably my favorite park. Are very close.
Mhm.
And so it's just funny looking back on it now. And I'm mad because I missed out on some things that aren't there anymore. Like the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids
Yeah, Honey,
show
I Shrunk the Audience,
and
yeah.
just some things that I'm really mad at myself because he got to see them and I'm like, that was dumb. But
Yeah.
you live and learn, so I definitely love that.
Hey, Donna!
They do sell food at the USA Pavilion. They have in America, and they have like all like chicken nuggets and, you know, American food. So that's why our youngest son loves to eat there. He just gets his stupid chicken nuggets.
I know,
and
but
French
yeah, they do have. Say hi to Donna. Hey, Donna.
Oh, hey,
Donna Henry.
Donna.
Thanks for showing out. We appreciate it. She's at the soccer field.
Oh my goodness, where are you at? Are you freezing?
Oh, yeah, I hope
usually
it's not
it's
cold
soccer
where you are.
time. I know up here it's always cold, and our kids would play soccer when they were little. We'd always be sitting on the field freezing to death.
John, it's funny you said that. So you're saying that the only time you've ever eaten at Walt Disney World, you only eat at Epcot? You don't eat at the other restaurants at any of the other parks? I'm curious as to, is it just because you don't want to, or you just haven't had that opportunity yet?
Wait a minute, what are you reading? John says
John says yes. He said,
No,
sorry,
no.
I meant in Epcot. He
no.
says,
He meant he ate in the UK in Epcot.
oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So
Well, yeah, you got to experience some of the other ones too. Oh, good. I don't blame you, Donna. I'd be in the car too.
oh, chicken curry sounds really good, Brian.
Absolutely.
Yum.
Yeah, but you got to eat. Got to have it. But that was my number.
But I find it
number
funny that John only ate in the UK in Epcot when he's from the UK.
2. Yep.
I mean,
John.
isn't that a little
Yeah.
strange? I'm giving you the stink eye.
Yep. That's so funny. Well, you like what you
He
like.
was afraid to branch out.
I don't blame you. I'm afraid to branch out
Yes,
too.
That's so him.
I'm the same way.
Ah.
So what's your last one? What's your last one must do at Epcot?
What did we leave off? Oh, Soarin'. Even though I liked it better when it was,
You like the old Soarin' better?
I like the old Soarin' better, but I still think it's something you have to. Just the technology of the ride, it's pretty amazing, and it's fun and it's cool.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Hey, there's Dan.
Hey,
Someone did say food, Dan.
just in the nick of time.
You have like this sixth
Sixth
food sense. It's amazing. Yeah, they were just talking food in Epcot, and you showed up.
Yep, Robin, that's our son too. Chicken fingers, fries. He won't even eat burgers.
No, he won't even eat. Well, yes,
He'll
he
eat a
does.
steak.
Yes, he
No.
does. He ate hamburgers the other
He'll
night.
eat burgers if I make them. He doesn't eat them on a bun. He just eats plain hamburger.
Yep.
No cheese, no bun,
No
ketchup,
No
just
nothing.
although he's weird, he'll dip them in like buffalo sauce. But he won't get a burger out. So tell me
No.
that makes sense.
It doesn't. All right. So what was your number 3?
Soarin'.
Oh, Soren. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So yes, what a coincidence, Dan. You're amazing. We are amazing. And I hope you got my I sent you that bracket, buddy. I hope you got that. But for me, for somebody first time going, never been before, I would highly recommend that they stay and watch Illuminations. I think that it's highly recommended to everybody for the first time. If you've never done it before, I do recommend you see it. And actually, I have to say, I've been watching it lately, and I don't know if I'm just getting nostalgic, but I've seen it on the last couple live streams, and I've watched it, and I'm actually enjoying it more than I used to. The soundtrack for Illuminations is actually really, really good. And I would recommend Illuminations. I think they would enjoy it a lot. I really do.
You're right, Phantom Gazer. Hurry on that one too. It's not going to be around too much
No,
longer.
it's true. And I don't have a problem with things being changed for the most part. I mean, there are some things that still upset me. We've talked about it at nauseum. But, you know, some things, I get it. Things are always going to change. Nothing's going to stick around forever. But, yeah, Illuminations.
No John, no Brian, no Beverly.
No Beverly. But ask Dan about Beverly. He'll tell you he's the champ.
Yeah, that just so you know, I'm just totally teasing John because it's like at least you went to Epcot and ate something on your first trip. I didn't even go, so so you win.
Good. Hey, Dan, glad you're feeling well. Glad you're going back to work, buddy.
Of course, he might be bittersweet.
He might not want to go back to work.
Right? I'm going to get back after all that time. It's probably going to be like,
Yeah, but yeah, I got to say, I'm going with Illuminations. That would be my number 3. And what about your...
Most people aren't a fan, Donna. I think Beverly tastes a lot like a very bitter grapefruit soda with no sugar in it. That's kind of what it makes me think of. So, Yeah, there you go. I agree.
Yeah, that's true.
Watching the look on people's faces as they drink it, that's the best part. 20 ounce. Oh.
Yeah, John, the soundtrack is really good. And I actually took the time, I can't remember whose live stream it was, but I took the time to just listen to it. And it's really nice. It's really good music. I agree. Yep. Yes, Dan, I think you're probably the expert in Beverly as well, which I'm not ever going to be.
That's funny.
Poor Robin. She doesn't want to talk about Illuminations. Leave it. Robin, look, a lot of people were upset when Wishes went away, and they didn't want to talk about it, and they said it could never be replaced. And I think a lot of people were fine with Happily Ever After. So you don't know. You might like what's next. Hey, Ray J.
Hey, Ray J.
How you doing? Welcome. Probably getting ready for work.
Yeah, I know, right?
But thanks for joining us. We definitely appreciate you coming in. Yep. We do go on. That's exactly right, John.
Sometimes a little drudgingly, but...
Yep. What's your honorable mention for Epcot?
You know what? I didn't write one down, but I guess Illuminations would be mine since it wasn't on my list. So, Is that cheating?
That's cheating. Although I did write mine down, and mine was Soarin'.
So.
I think it would have made my top 3 if it was the old Soarin'. I think with the new Soarin', well, now if you're new to Epcot and you've never done Soarin' anyway, if you're a first timer, you're not going to know any better. Yeah, you're not going to know any better. But I still wouldn't recommend it above those other 3. I would say those are more important. But Soarin' has to be in there. You have to make sure you do it. It's such a cool concept of how they do it.
That's why I think it's
it's so neat. I mean, there's nothing else like it. It's really unique to Walt Disney World, and you got to do it. I mean, you can't miss it. But again, it's a fast pass one. The lines are always so long in there, and the waits are horrendous. You got to have a fast pass. But yeah, that's Soarin'.
And Robin, that's how I am when it comes to Great Movie Ride. I'm still bitter about that. So when she's way too sentimental about Illuminations, I am just still really upset about the Great Movie Ride being gone at Hollywood Studios. So we all have that one I think we have a really hard time getting over, like Walt's The Electrical Parade.
Yeah.
And that one's a pretty close one for me too. But there are definitely things that go away that are going to really upset people, and there's not a lot you can do with it.
Yeah. Human person, I can't describe the taste of Beverly because I've never had it. But Melissa can, because she has had it. But you said it was like...
I feel like it's like a very bitter grapefruit soda that has no sugar in it. So, like, almost like that kind of flavor, but it's a bitter flavor. It's not sour like grapefruit, but kind of a bitter, unsweet version. That's the best description I can come up with. What do you think, Dan? Dan would probably be the one that would describe it.
Yeah, Dan will be able to know for sure.
He loves it.
Yep. And Phantom Gazer says, sitting in France by the fountain, eating a dessert from the pavilion at night. First timers should do that. Yeah, I agree. Yep, that's a good idea. I agree. Yeah.
We loved going in the morning when because before the whole World Showcase really opens up, you can go to France and go to Le Halles.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. And we sat by the water. And
it was
I had
nice.
Pastries and I had my coffee, and that was awesome because it was quiet, not a lot of people down there at that point in time. So I'm all about that.
Yep, I agree. So Dan says it's kind of like a cream soda with a very bitter aftertaste. So there you go.
Okay.
There you go. Yep. I mean, you had plenty of them, Dan, so you should know.
Yeah, you would know for sure.
Ray J,
definitely bitter.
Ray J wrote the Soarin' when it first opened in D.C. How about DCA? How about that?
That's cool.
Yeah, I bet that was a good experience.
Is it still the one in DCA? Is it still the older one, or is it theirs around the world? Guys, tell us. Is it still the one where you're over California? Because that's the one that we used to have that I love, and now they changed it to Soarin' Around the World. I don't remember what it is for you guys. What is it?
John, make sure you do Soarin'. I do think you need to do it, though, bud. Because I think you'll enjoy it. It's a pretty amazing experience. It is. Mm-hmm. And Donna, that's true. I'm hopeful too of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I don't know. I know Melissa's really bitter about Great Movie Ride, but But, you know, I've always said that Mickey needs to have his own ride, and now he's going to have his own ride. And I think it might be really, really good. It's a different type of thing, and, you know, it might be terrible. But
I don't think it'll be terrible.
I've not had that experience yet with Disney. I really haven't.
Yeah, I thought it was still soaring over California, Japan. I could be wrong.
No, according to Brian, Brian's saying it's soaring around the world.
Oh, okay. So didn't they change it there first before it changed for
They might
us?
have. I can't remember.
Ugh, it all runs
terrible.
together.
It does run together. So there you go. Dan, what ride does Mickey have that's his own attraction? With the entire park?
Yeah.
What am I missing? What am I thinking of? What am I blanking on?
I'm trying to think. We don't have a Mickey's Toontown anymore. We used to.
Yeah, we used to have that. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mickey's For Her Magic. Okay. But you know what? But I don't think... But Dan, I'm going to take you to task on that. I don't really think that's his show. I think that's more Donald's show.
It kind of is, because Donald takes it over, and
you
that's
know,
the whole problem.
to me, that's more... I know it's Mickey's For Her Magic is the name of the show, but to me, the entire show, Mickey's only in it for like a little bit. The entire thing's really more about Donald.
When he has to save the day.
Yeah, I agree, Phantom Gaze. I'd have to say that's more about Donald. I'm glad he's getting a ride. I think Mickey needs a ride. Because he's the man. And Human Person, that might be why. Maybe that's why they're not doing the fireworks. That makes sense. If they were launching them from Star Wars in Toontown, that makes sense then. So that's kind of cool. I didn't even think of that. Dan was half joking.
His name is in it, so. Yeah, I guess you're right, John. Fantasmic. Yeah. It's Mickey directing the whole thing. Yeah. So, you're right. Didn't think about that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either. But I'm still glad he's getting his own ride.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for. I know you're still bitter, but for me, I'm not gonna Beverly it. It's not gonna be bitter for me.
Yeah, Robin, our Toontown didn't have a ride. It was just Mickey's house and Minnie's house and
Goofy's Donald's house.
Everybody's house.
But I liked it.
I
didn't mind it. I liked the old Toontown. I like the new Storybook Circus too. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But all right, okay. So here we go. We're moving on to the final park. Which park is it?
Favorite.
Well, my favorite. Yes, it is coming, Brian. We did hear that.
Mickey's Popcorn Couch has a ride. Does for me.
It does for Melissa. There you go. All right. So what's the first thing on your list? If you're going to Magic Kingdom, first timer, must do. What do they got to do?
Haunted Mansion.
There you go. Haunted Mansion.
Of course. All
right.
So cannot miss, no matter what. First time, last time, got it.
All the time.
All the time.
All right. So for me, and that makes sense. I totally get that. And actually, you know what? I didn't put it on my list.
What?
Nope, I didn't.
Not
a first time.
It's your favorite ride in the whole
my favorite
world.
ride, but that
doesn't
mean
make any sense.
Doesn't mean it has to be a first time.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Don't argue with me. She's arguing with me over this.
Well, we only got to pick 3, and Magic Kingdom's a really hard place to pick.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to pick everything there. But the first thing for me, I'm telling everybody, and I did it with a friend of mine who just went there back in May. I said, must do, can't miss it, Happily Ever After. I told him that. I said, you have got to see the fireworks show at Magic Kingdom, Happily Ever After. And he live streamed it from he did a Facebook Live saying, all right, now we got to see what this Happily Ever After is all about. It gets all these great reviews. Let's see what it's all about. And then he came back on later and said, it was worth every minute of it. Yeah. So for me, it's Happily Ever After. It's the one I tell everybody. You got to do the fireworks show. Stay for the fireworks.
Yep, that made my list too. And I actually have 4 things from Magic Kingdom that I had to put, and that's one of them. And the last, I told someone else this last year. They didn't go, so they're punished. And then I just told my friend Nick that he has to see it. So if he doesn't, I feel like nobody listens to me. So we'll find out.
Nobody does listen to me.
I know.
You guys do.
I don't know. Shut up, Brian.
Neater. Yeah, I know. It's pretty cool. All right, so
he is in rare form tonight. But I know I love Haunted Mansion Holiday. I can't wait to see that too. We've watched it on vlogs and
looks pretty neat.
It looks so cool.
John, it is great. I agree.
Not even in your top 5, Dan. What the heck?
Wow, Dan, that's pretty crazy.
Sheesh.
I think it's awesome. But that's what I would say. I think it's a great
Our
experience.
Disney Adventure.
Hey, our Disney Adventure. Hey, Marisol, welcome in. How are you? Hope you're doing well. So Ray J says, Happily Ever After, Splash Mountain, and Peter Pan's Flight. Very good.
Excellent choices.
Yeah. So what's your number 2? Or the next one?
Well, like I said, I have 4, but for me, it's Pirates. It's like probably my favorite ride in the park. And
Okay.
I was so bummed out when they were refurbing it there. So for me, Pirates is a must-do.
Okay. Pirates is a great pick. Perfect. And I went totally different than Melissa because Pirates didn't make my list either. But I did say, for first-timers, the other thing you must do if you've never been before, Festival of the Fantasy Parade. Festival of Fantasy Parade it's the only parade in any of the parks that you have at Walt Disney World, so you can't miss it. And it's a great parade on top of it. And you get to see all kinds of characters. And when they bring back the dragon, that's something that's a feature, a fire-breathing dragon in a parade. You just can't miss it. And I always recommend that to everybody, is you have to do Festival of Fantasy. It's a must. It's a must-do. Get there early, get a good spot, and watch that parade. I think it's awesome. That's
Dan,
my
your
number
choices
2.
were great, and I like that you put the train in yours because that is something special, and that's one of Walt's close to his heart, and I think that's a really awesome pick. So,
Yeah. I love the train for me.
mm-hmm.
I love the train for me
Yeah.
as well, Dan. I told Melissa, I was kidding with her, but I said, this trip, we're taking the train and we're going around the entire park.
We did.
We did it. I said, I want to do it the entire way. And we did. We stayed on and did one full loop. I wanted to do a second loop, but we didn't.
And John, I think a lot of people, I agree with you too. I'm just not so much a roller coaster person, but honestly, probably the 3 mountains are really, could be a top 3 too. Splash Mountain, Space Mountain, and Big Thunder Mountain. That's all big deal. And my honorable mention though is definitely People Mover. I wanted to actually put that was kind of tied in with my 3 because it was really hard for me to put that even because for me, the People Mover is a must do.
Okay,
Absolutely 100%.
What was your number 3?
I remember I had mentioned that I picked the Happily Ever After also.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, gotcha.
So maybe I didn't say it. Maybe I was just thinking it in my head. I might not have said it out loud. But I had picked the Happily Ever After also. And that was like right there, that and People Mover. I had a hard time really picking which one was 3 and which one was 4. So,
John, I wish they still had the Skyway as well at Walt Disney World and at Disneyland. I'm not a big heights person, but I think it brought a certain kind of charm to the park. I agree. Phantom Gazer, I'm sorry that you don't get to experience the Walt Disney World Railroad when you go because that's a great experience. I hope you get to maybe next time you go because it's awesome. Donna says, how long will the train be down? Donna, they haven't given a specific amount of time just yet. Dan might know better. If Human Person's still out there, he might know as well. But I think it's at least 6 to 7 months. It might be down. So it's going to be down for a while.
no, you're not, Jakes. Let's see. Sorry, we're just reading comments.
Yeah, we're reading comments. Everybody's got some great
Yeah,
comments for
definitely.
sure.
But there's so much to see and do at Magic Kingdom. It was really hard
Yeah.
to come up with just a handful of things because really that's the park that has the most ultimate. I mean, there's Jungle Cruise. There's,
Yep.
our dog's whining.
He's whining.
What's the matter?
He knows we're getting near the end.
Yeah, he senses things. You're early
Yep.
today.
Well, I would have to say, for me, number 3 was just do the mountains as a whole.
Haha, that's cheating.
No, well, I mean, I think you got to do all. It's not cheating to me, but I feel like you have to do the mountains. Just
Come here.
you got to do Splash, you got to do Space Mountain, you got to do Big Thunder Mountain, you got to do all the mountains because the mountains are kind of a must-do. Melissa's trying to get the dog.
Yeah, he's being fussy.
He's being whiny, but that's what made it for me was the mountains. Here he comes. Here comes Fatty. There he
I
is.
hope you're talking about the dog.
I'm talking about the dog, not you. Oh my gosh, she's so funny. Yeah, I think that's right, Dan. I think it's going to be like 6 months or something like that.
Oh, wait.
But yeah, for me, it's the mountains. I would say to everybody, if you're a roller coaster person, you've got 3 big ones you can do, including Mine Train. I guess actually you could include in that list too. But for me,
So Robin was the first one to bring up Citrus Swirl.
there you go. See? She beat Dan. Dan, how did she beat you with that?
I was waiting.
So that's my number 3 was do the mountains.
Aw. Thanks, Candy.
Melissa just got slapped by the
Ooh,
dog's
I got
ears.
ear slapped. He
That
and I
is so
match.
funny.
I have the sweater it matches him.
Oh.
We're matching.
So what's your honorable mention?
I already had 4. People Mover, remember?
Oh, People Mover. Okay.
People Mover.
All right. Well, my honorable mention is totally different. And actually, the more I think about this, the more I think this probably should have been one of the 3 is if you're a first timer going to Disney to really get the Disney experience, and we did it on our first time we went, is eat at Cinderella's castle. Inside the castle. We did it our very first trip to Disney. We had breakfast at Cinderella Castle, and it was the most magical experience. And I think that's one of the things that got us hooked on Disney was that day. I still remember that day like it was yesterday, and I do highly recommend it to everybody that for first timers. If you can get that dining experience, which is not easy to get, but if you can get it, I think it's a great experience, and it'll really kind of put your trip over the top for Disney.
Well, then I'm going to have to echo that with instead going to Beast Castle. Because I love the ballroom. And I love, or even we actually ate in the, the dark room.
Oh, inside the West Wing.
Yeah, the West Wing when we had breakfast there our last trip. And that was actually kind of neat. I don't think we've talked about that yet.
No.
But
We had
going in the
breakfast in there. That
ballroom
was
and
neat.
seeing the chandeliers and it looks just like the movie and seeing the snowfall in the windows is pretty fantastic for a first-time experience. So I would probably even pick that over Cinderella's Castle, only because I think I like the food a little bit better. We are past...
John, his name, this is Camden. His name is, we always call him Cam, but
Cam.
yep, he's a mutt. He's not really he's not
He's
any
a
kind
rescue.
of he's a rescue.
He's part dachshund, part whatever.
Part
We don't know.
fat.
Oh, my buddy.
He's a good boy.
He's my buddy.
There you go. Ray J says be our guest. Yep. Love be our guest. It is. We've done be our guest like 4 times. I don't think we've ever not done it now. Because we weren't originally going to do it on this trip. And then Melissa scored a breakfast
Yeah,
for
somebody
us.
must have canceled because there wasn't anything, and they had this one random breakfast.
Mhm.
That's a good idea, Dan. 3 things out of the parks as a bonus round. We'd probably pick everything in
Oh my gosh.
downtown Disney. It's
No.
like Disney Springs.
Well, no, but that you know what? That's a good one, Dan.
Or
If
some
I
of
had
the resort.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to
Joking.
say. I would have to say, one of the first things I would tell someone is to experience Disney Springs as a whole, whether you're just doing it for the experiences or the shops or the food, doesn't matter. Any of it. I think you just have to experience Disney Springs. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. We had lots of fun there. We did spend a lot more time there than usual this trip because we were staying with friends the first couple days, and we would, when they were in the middle of stuff, we would just ride down and hang out at Disney Springs for an hour or 2.
Yeah. Phantom Gazer, I am not a Ravens fan,
He's
if you can
not.
believe that. I'm actually a Rams fan. I know
He's
that's
having a good
weird.
year.
I've been a Rams fan for about 40 years. Giving away my age here. But and I'm a lot older than 40. But yeah, I'm a Rams fan. So I'm not a Ravens fan.
I know.
Not at all. But Donna, you could still do Cinderella's Royal Table. We have 2 boys.
Mhm.
We have 2 boys. We don't have girls.
Yeah.
And we did Cinderella's Royal Table, even with the boys. We just still enjoyed the experience. I think you could still do it. And Dan, yes, I do think you have to do the resorts. That would be another thing I would pick is go see those resorts. Especially at Christmas time. Oh my gosh. They're fantastic.
You did get them back, Brian. The Rams.
Yes, I'm glad you got them back, Brian. I loved them in St. Louis, but I love them even more back where they belong in L.A. I think they are the Los Angeles Rams, and I was a fan of them back when they were originally in L.A. too. But yeah, Dan, great picks. Ray J, great picks. And California Grill is one of the ones that we want to experience.
Definitely.
We definitely want to experience California Grill. I totally agree 100%.
But the Rams are having such a great year, Brian. Why would you want to give them back?
Yeah,
We'll
I'll
trade
keep
with
the
you.
Rams.
You
yeah.
can have the Ravens.
Yeah, you can have the Ravens. I'll take
I'll have
the
the
Rams. That's
Baltimore
fine.
Rams.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't know
care.
if anybody else would want the Baltimore
No, probably
Rams.
not. Probably not.
I like the name of the team, though, the Ravens. That was a cool pick for them. Edgar Allan Poe. And
Yeah, it was.
That's
And Ray
such a
J,
name.
we are going to do that. The boys won't want to go. They won't want to do. Our oldest might, but our youngest won't want to do California Grill. So if Melissa and I do it in the
You
near
don't
future,
even want to eat California
Well, yes, I do. I do. I want to try it. I told you that. I'm going to try to find something on the menu. I want to do it for the experience more than anything else. I think it'll be fun.
Oh, we'd love to, Dan. You can come join us and introduce us to your friends.
Yes, exactly. But that would be second, would be going to the resorts. But third on the list, probably just experience the monorail. Tell people to use the monorail. Use it, or use the other transportation.
Boats.
Use the boats. Use the monorail. Use that other kind of Disney transportation. I mean, the buses are fine, but you can get a bus anywhere. Use those boats. Use the monorail. That would be one of the other must-dos, I would say, for folks.
Oh, Boma's a great place, Phantom Gazer.
We ate there.
We ate there. It's actually really good. I really would suggest Boma as well.
Mm-hmm.
See, Brian Waltz with you. He's a baseball fanatic and not a basketball person either, really. College, a little bit, but not a pro.
No, not NBA.
Yeah.
Nope, I agree.
So, Walt's a walking baseball encyclopedia, so you guys would probably have lots of fun chatting.
Every one day we'll have a mouse.
Me and Jen will have to hang out when we come to California, hopefully.
Hoop-de-doo. Good pick, Robin.
Very good pick, Robin.
Absolutely. Very good pick. I agree with you 110%. Hoop-de-doo is another one that if you can get the dining reservation, Hoop-de-doo is great.
King of the bus.
King of the bus.
That's
King
it.
of the bus. I agree. Dan, that is big praise to say it's probably one of the top 3 best restaurants on property, because there are a ton of great restaurants at Disney. So to say California Grill is right there, that's pretty darn awesome. Us too, John. We went and did the monorail from Epcot to Magic Kingdom for the first time our last trip. We had never done it before. Now, of course, you got to get off and switch to get over there, but it was really, really cool. I was really glad we did it. Had a lot of fun with it, and I would highly recommend it, and I would definitely do it again. Wouldn't you?
Absolutely. And Trails End is one that we do want to try too, Brian. We saw another live stream or vlogger that did something on it, and actually had never really paid any attention to it until I saw their vlog, and I was very interested in it. There's so many places that we want to eat in Disney that we haven't.
It's true.
Just finding the time to do all that.
Oh my gosh,
and the
it's
extra,
so hard. That's why you need at least 7 to 8 days to really do a lot. And even then, you're still not going to do everything, but you got to do a lot. And Phantom Gazer, I'm glad you got to enjoy Hoop-de-doo review. I loved it. Melissa loved it.
We got to do it again.
We got to do it again.
Really
it's
long
been
time
a while
since we did it, so it's kind of on our list to do again soon for sure. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hoop-de-doo was great. Dan, we do want to do Trails End. I mean, we've heard the same thing. We heard it's really good food. It's reasonably priced. I do want to try that.
And it's a buffet, isn't it? It's a breakfast buffet. Am I wrong? Because it looks like you can get a lot for the money in terms, and the food looks tasty. So.
Yeah, I agree. Well, guys, there you go. That is our top 3 must-do experiences at Walt Disney World for all the different parks. So, again, before we log off for the night and hang our hats, we definitely want to thank everybody for coming out. We really hope you guys had a great time. We did. Yes, Brian, I think Trails End does have the same food as Hoop-de-doo Review. I'm pretty sure they do. I think they do. Dan, you'll know for sure.
They're connected, aren't they, in the same building?
I think they are.
That makes sense.
I think they are. But, no, we definitely appreciate you guys coming out. We had a great time tonight. Again, thank you to Dean at the Live Place for hosting it. Great live streams out there. Be sure to check out theliveplace.com. And everybody out there, please to subscribe to a lot of these channels, folks, if you haven't already. Dan's got his channel, Disney Dan. We've got other folks out there that have channels. Cargo's usually in here. There's Mickey's Magic. Our Disney Adventures has their channel. Human Person. We have all kinds of great people out there. Be sure you check them out. We'd love for you to do that. Support each other, folks. It's really great when we do that. We have a great community here, and we love it. And other than that, we have our live streams, Mouse Madness on Tuesdays at 8. And we do, of course, Disney Talk every Thursday at 7:30. And kind of with that, we just want to say thank you for joining us. You guys are great. We love you guys. You guys are like definitely our friends. We don't just think of you. Like Dan always says, you're not just my subscribers, you're our friends. And it's true. And it's a good point.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and especially thank you to like Dan and John for coming out here at like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that means a lot. It really does.
And Ray J too. Ray J,
Yeah,
I didn't
Ray J.
realize. I
Oh
didn't
my
know you
gosh,
had
I
a
didn't
video.
Oh, awesome!
We'll go out there.
I didn't know Ray J was still
Yeah.
here. Sorry,
I don't
Ray
know
J.
where Zoe is,
Nice
Brian. I
one.
wish Zoe was here tonight. So
she's watching one of the other shows.
yeah, that's okay. I get it. I get it. But John, you're welcome. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Hope it was helpful. Hey, look who it is!
Oh,
Pirate Princess Red.
Princess Red.
What's going on? How you doing? Angela, right? I always get that wrong. She always gets mad at me. Not really, but
Yep.
But yeah, we're just getting ready to sign off, Angela. But I thank you for stopping in, even if it's just for a couple minutes. But
Yeah.
thank you guys very much. We really enjoyed it. Hope you guys are great. We definitely had a great time with you. And go join up. Go out there and watch some of those other live streams. If you go over to Spokesman, let them know you're coming from Mouse Talks live stream. Let them know we sent you over there, or whether it's Jen at Ears Emporium. Be sure to do that. But you guys, everybody have a great night. We will talk to you soon, and please take care of yourselves and each other. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Cammy.
Bye-bye.